So welcome back to On the Books, and I'm Lynsey from Kent Libraries, and I'm beaming out to you from Folkestone Library today. We've got a treat for you. We're joined today by local author Jessica Ryn, who's here to talk about her exciting new novel, The Extraordinary Hope of Dawn Brightside, and it's hot off the press. So welcome, Jessica.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. As I mentioned, your novel is finally here. Has it been a long wait to get it published?
Yay, that's it. So, I started writing it about 2.5 years ago when I was halfway through my MA in creative writing at Canterbury, Christchurch. And I was really, really lucky. I managed to get an agent and a book deal fairly quickly. And then it was all set for May, which was very exciting. And then right at the last minute, we changed the publication because of lockdown 1, which was disappointing at the time because I was all geared up for it. But I was grateful as well because I knew that it wasn't quite the right time to publish. It was a really tricky time. And then, of course, we had lockdown 2 where it came out. But this time it does actually feel like the right time. So I'm really pleased to be sending her out into the world to hopefully spread a bit of hope and joy when we all need a bit of cheering up.
Now we can all get our hands on a copy. Is there anything you want the readers to know, or what can we expect from the novel?
So Dawn Brightside is homeless. She's running from the secrets of her past, and she's offered a bed in a homeless hostel. But then the homeless hostel gets threatened with closure due to funding cuts, which is something that quite commonly does happen. And I wanted to highlight the importance of homeless services. So there's quite a lot of bits like that in it. But Dawn and her fellow residents band together to try and save the hostel. And in the meantime, Dawn has to try and stop her past from catching up with her. So there are quite a few difficult topics within the book. So there's quite a lot of things about mental health and substance misuse. And there is some quite dark things there. But what my hope is that joy comes out of that, and there's an uplifting side to it as well, which was important to me. So I wanted to give homeless people a bigger voice in fiction, because everything that we hear about homeless people in the media is often wrapped up in sort of numbers and statistics, and I wanted to show the really sort of human side behind that. So that's hopefully what you can expect.
That sounds really exciting. Definitely one to pick up. If there's anything the world needs right now, it is hope. So was that what you set out to write when you first started writing 2.5 years ago? Was it bringing the world a little bit of hope that you had in mind?
Yeah, because I thought the world was a little bit in need of it then. I didn't quite realise how bad it was going to get. Yeah, we've always needed hope. There's always been sort of bad things in the world, but obviously this year everything is so magnified. So I am pleased that I wrote it when I did, definitely.
Couldn't have come at a better time, to be honest. It's fantastic. I understand that you were formerly a homeless resettlement worker in a past life. Your experience there must have had a huge impact on the writing in the novel, first-hand experience for one, but is that something you're still hugely passionate about?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to start doing some creative writing classes with some of the residents at the hostel I used to work in soon, which I'm really looking forward to. I was supposed to be starting that up before COVID, and then that all kind of went a bit wrong, but yeah, it is something I'm really passionate about. And I did notice the difference because I tried to write a novel before Dawn, just sort of a general story, which I enjoyed, but I didn't feel like I connected so much with the story or with the characters, and I just thought, no, I need to write what I know and what I care about, because I wanted to write something with a message that could actually help people. And then it flowed so much better, and it was like a completely different experience.
What started you writing? How did it all begin?
When I was little, I was obsessed. I've always been a massive reader, absolutely obsessed with books. I spent my whole time in libraries all the time when I was little, and I was obsessed with Narnia. So I used to write a lot of Narnia fan fiction, which I would love to be able to get my hands on again. Then I sort of reached my teenage years and life kind of got in the way, and I forgot how much I liked writing. I've always carried on reading, but I forgot how much I liked writing. And then I sort of got married, had children, I was always busy, and it was always at the back of my mind that it would be a nice idea to write a novel, but I never really believed that I would do it. When I left my job as a resettlement worker, I went into midwifery, which was amazing. I loved it. It was very stressful, but really loved it. And then my husband had quite a bad relapse with his mental health. So I left my job as a midwife to care for him full time, which was wonderful. But I felt like I'd lost quite a big part of me by not doing the midwifery. So I needed something that was just mine, and something I could kind of retreat into and enjoy. And then I just started writing and remembered how much I love it and how important it is. And then I looked for some writing courses online and found BMA and just thought, do you know what, I'm just going to go for it, because it was remote as well. So most of it's home learning. So I could do that around my caring and looking after the children. And there was sort of 3, I think, residential weekends where you could meet up with the other writers and sort of see the whites of each other's eyes while we worked, which is something that's quite important. So it's the best of both worlds, really.
That's a fantastic message, because some people in really difficult situations, they can feel quite hopeless, and the fact you've picked up writing as a way to grow and do other things, and look at you now, you've got a published book. It's absolutely fantastic. So have there been any authors, you say you like reading, but that have inspired you or affected your journey into becoming an author?
Yeah, so I really like uplit, which is sort of uplifting literature. I know not everyone likes that term, but I like it because it explains exactly what it is. So I absolutely love anything like Rachel Joyce or Joanna Cannon. And I believe you spoke to Anstey Harris, who's absolutely fantastic author. And as well as that, she's a really good champion of other authors. And she's been like a mentor to me through this whole process, which has been really lovely.
What advice, if any, could you give our listeners on the key to starting their writing journey, if it can be a bit daunting? Yeah. What would you say?
Don't aim for it to be good or perfect, but just start, because you can't do anything with a blank page. Whereas you can write a whole page of something. Yes, you might change it a million times, but you've started, and it is the starting that's difficult. And I think reading makes a huge amount of difference as well. It's easy to think, oh, I need to spend all my time writing, which you do, but it's like you have to fill yourself up with the words, if you know what I mean, to be able to let them back out again, I think.
So your first book published, it was, when we were recording this, yesterday, I believe, 26th of November. Congratulations. So it's hot off the press. People can pick it up, read it now. Can we expect more novels from you, maybe a new one next year or the year after?
I've actually got one coming out next November, which has only got a working title at the moment, so I won't say what it's called, but it's about carers banding together to form a sort of a support group to support each other in a village.
That's exciting. I love the themes of your books. They're things that a lot of people can relate to, and it's it's really exciting to have you on and to speak to you. And it's definitely one to watch. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.